Hello and welcome back again. In this video, I will show you how to install Oracle19c grid infrastructure including ASM and Oracle19c database. Before we get started, I listed a couple of things in Sublime Text. I would like to let you know about it before we start this demonstration. So here I'm using a virtualization environment. Specifically, I'm using VMware. You can use VirtualBox and it will work fine. And the virtual machine resource allocation will be 8 GB RAM, 4 cores, CPU, 60 GB virtual disk for OS and Oracle Binaries. 30 GB virtual disk will be partitioned for 3 partitions, and this will be as a disk groups for ASM, data, CRS, FRA, and the operating system will be also Oracle Linux 8.3. For ASM disk preparation, I will use UDEV Rules. There is an ASM lib provided by Oracle to accomplish this, but here I will use the UDEV Rules. I will try something different and also I'm happy to let you know about it. Oracle19c grid infrastructure including ASM also will be installed in this demonstration. Oracle19c database also the same, and for all the commands and scripts that I'm using here in this demonstration, you can find it on my account on GitHub. So please stay tuned and let's get started in the first step, VM creation and OS installation. So let's proceed to the VMware here, and we need to create a new virtual machine, and I will choose custom, advanced, proceed to the next, keep it the same, next. Here you should pick the Oracle Linux ISO. Here we have it, it's auto detected, it's Oracle Linux 8 64-bit. We can name it here like this, OEL 83 underscore, or keep it X 64-bit. So I will proceed to the next. CPU, I'll make it 2 by 2. Next, here I will give it 8 GB RAM. Okay, next I will use nothing as a network. This one keep it as recommended. I will use here SCSI disk type. Here I will create a new virtual disk. The virtual disk, I will store it in one virtual disk, single file. Here I will make it 60 GB. Okay, proceed with next. Here I will just add the post description to be like 01. That means the first disk. Next. Then as you can see here, we're done. I need just to remove a couple of things like printer. I don't want it. I think everything is okay. Everything is fine and fit to my need. So I will press finish, remove this one because we don't want to start. I will add more disk. As you can see here, we create successfully the virtual machine. I need to edit the virtual settings and I need to add a new hard drive. I will call it, I will use SCSI, and yes, I will create a new one. I will make it 30 GB. This is for the ASM. I will store it in one file, single file, and I will name it underscore 02. It will be. So I will name it, then it's like this. You can use your own naming, but here I'm using my own. Finish and save the changes. Okay, now as you can see, everything is fine, so we can proceed and start the virtual machine. Now, after we finish the VM creation, we can install the OS. So we can proceed to the OS installation. Okay, now the operating system is booted and loaded up, and I can proceed with the installation. So I will keep everything identical, continue. So I will keep it default, or I pressed continue. Okay, now I will change first the disk installation. As you can see, I have 60 GB and I have 30. I will pick this one and I will use custom and I will press done. Okay, so from here it will show me that I will use my own layout for this disk. So I press plus. First one I will use for the boot. I will give 2 GB. Add mount, make it capital, it's better. Add amount. This will be a physical one. Primary. Sorry, this one will be a primary disk. This one I will use also a swap. I will make it 8 GB. Add amount. This one I think it will create LVM. Yes, LVM. The rest I will use the /root for it. I will keep it empty. That's means it will take the full. As you can see here, take the rest of the disk. So right now we are using all the disk capacity. So I will press done. Yes, accept the change. Okay, we finished this one. So we will go to the software selection. Of course, I want the server to be with the graphical user interface. Here I will pick some things I needed. Yes, network. Okay, performance tools. I need also network tools. Let me pick it. Okay, legacy, compatibility. Okay, remote management. Also maybe I need also this one. .NET development tools. I will also add this one. Maybe I will need it. RBM development tools, graphical administration tools. Yes. Security tools, system tools. This one for the network traffic, like ifconfig and these things. So I usually add this one. Sometime if the Oracle need to rebuild something or doing anything, it will be also available. So I would like to install it. That's it here. We're done. Else I think network here we need to change from the local host. I will name it Oracle19c, and the domain I will name it Aura domain. I will apply. You can see here it's changed. So we change the installation destination. We format the disks. We pick our software. We select it. We name the host here in the network. So we need to set a password. Of course, it's a weak password because this one is test environment. So I'll not put a complex password. I will create a user. I usually use admin. This is for OS administration, not related to the Oracle. And of course the password, we need to provide the password. Pick this one also to make it as an administrator. I will press done. So I think we finish here. So we can begin the installation. So this will take time. I will back after this one finish. So as we can see, the installation is finished. So we need to reboot the operating system. So I will press reboot system. The system rebooted. So this screen will be shown. So you need to accept the license agreement. Press here done. And then as you can see, we are finished the configuration, and the operating system will be, and the disk will be shown. So here I will enter the password, press enter. So here we have the welcome screen. So we need to press next. I will turn off the location service. Skip this one and start using Oracle Linux. And here also I will close this screen. I will go to the settings. I'm usually doing these things. I will lock screen, I will turn it off. Okay, I will go to the power management, and also I will make it never the blank screen. Here I will exit for now. I will open here also the terminal, and I will increase the font. Here's the terminal. I will go to the preferences, and from here I will pick the custom, and I will increase the font to be 18 to be clear for you to see what I am typing. And I think like this we are ready to the next step: configure the operating system to be available for grid infrastructure and Oracle database. Okay, so let's go to the next step: OS preparation and prerequisites installation for Oracle Grid Infrastructure 19c and Oracle Database 19c. So as you can see here in front of you in the screen, I have a document with steps. So we will go through all these steps to apply and configure the operating system. So first thing, I need to check the connectivity to the access to the internet using this command. As you can see, we are connected to the internet. I will do the DNF. Okay, but before I will switch to root. Okay, I will clear the screen, and then I will hit DNF make cache. It will download the metadata and cache it to local operating system. It will take time a little bit. I pause the video and then I will come back again. As you can see here, the metadata cache created successfully. So now we need to DNF search for the Oracle database pre-install. So it will search, okay, the local repository. As you can see here, we have this package, so we need to install it. I will clear the screen. So we will install that package, DNF install -y Oracle database pre-install 19c. It will install it automatically, few seconds, and it will be done. Okay, it's done. So now I will clear the screen. After we done installing the package, we need to check the Oracle user if it's created or not. As we can see here, it's created. So we need to proceed with the creating other groups for ASM. So I will add them. Then I will append these two users to be as a secondary users, secondary groups for the user Oracle. You can see here user mode. I will append the secondary groups ASM admin and ASM DBA for Oracle. So now we need to check if they are appended successfully or not. Yeah, Oracle. As you can see here, we append them successfully, both of these groups. So I will clear the screen. Now I will create the grid user. This user will be for the grid infrastructure and ASM administration. So as you can see here, I create successfully. Now I need to set the password. So I will clear the screen, pass WD, and then I will create password for Oracle user. And I hit enter. Okay. Yeah, it's authenticate tokens update successfully. Okay, it's created successfully. Pass WD for grid, and the same, we will create a password, confirm the password, and done. So once we finish this one, we will create directories for the Oracle binaries for grid infrastructure and database, and also here the same. I will create also here, so cd u01. So here we create Oracle or install cd19c ls-ltra. As you can see here is the grid, and here is the Oracle home. All the group and membership are fine. So we will proceed to soon switch user to grid. We need to set environment variables. So I need to take a backup for bash profile for the grid. After taking the backup for bash profile, I need to create a hidden file for grid19c environment. I will hit enter. I will cat dot grid. Okay, everything is fine. So I will source it dot grid, this to apply the environment and set the environment variables, and I will use env grep -i to check if it's applied successfully. Yes, great. So they applied. It applied successfully. I will clear the screen. Now I will let this source in the bash profile. So each time we access the bash, each time we access the grid user, it will be automatically sourced. So it's like this. Now I can use env grep -i Oracle. So it's automatically sourced. I will exit from here. Now we will move to Oracle database. We will switch for Oracle, switch Oracle. We will create a backup from bash profile, the same as grid user. We will also create a database environment variable, paste it, and as you can see here, I created. We will source it to test.db. Now env, we will check if everything sourced successfully. Grep -i Oracle. So as you can see here, I sourced the hidden environment variable file successfully. So I will, the same as grid user, I will add this command to the bash profile. So each time we log into the Oracle user, switch user Oracle, it will be sourced automatically. Switch, env grep -i Oracle. So as you can see here, we have all the variables sourced successfully. So I will clear. We finish with environment variables. We will move to the ntb. This check systemctl, that's cronny status of cronny d service is running. Yes, it's running and everything is fine. Okay, I will exit from Oracle user, back to root. Now we will change as Oracle recommendation to change the SE Linux from enforcing to be permissive. So I will use it. If you want to disable it, you can disable it in below command, but here I will follow Oracle recommendation. So before I do this one, I need to cat etc SE Linux config to let you see it's enforcing. So I will change it to be permissive. So I will cat again. As you can see here, it's changed to be permissive. So clear the screen. Now I will move to copy this file. Linux have limitation for each user, so Oracle recommend to change this limitation to be fit the Oracle binaries. So here I will the Oracle pre-installation package is create for Oracle user a limitation profile, but for grid there is no profile, so I will create a one by copying the Oracle one, and I will edit this file and change it to be for grid user. So to change this one, you go to the escape colon shift 5%, that's mean then S, then Oracle grid. I will rename Oracle to grid and I will use it globally. Then I will save, clear the screen. Now I will cat the file to see, yeah, it's applied. Now we finish with the limitations and security. Now I will disable the firewall. You can create a rule, but for me I will stop and then I will disable it because it's for testing. I will, okay, now we finish the prerequisites. Now I will move to the next step. ASM disk configuration and preparation. In ASM disk configuration and preparation, we need to first enable a feature for VM called UUID. This will allow us to have an ID for each disk. So let's see if first it's enabled or not. So lib UDEV and SCSI ID /GUD/dev SDB. So as you can see here, it's not enabled. We didn't have an ID for this disk, and as you can see also we are root. The user should be root to be able to accomplish this. So I will power off the machine. So SS power off. I will power off the machine, the virtual machine, and then I will proceed here to this one. This one is the VMX, and it's the configuration file for this machine that I am using for this virtual machine. From where I can get this path, you can come here, option, advanced, and you can see it's here. It's in the document VMware. It's here. This is the configuration file. Okay, so from here I need to take this one and just add it in end of this file. Okay, Control V, Control S, save, and then I need to power on the box or power on the virtual machine, and then I will just hit enter. Now it will prompt for me to pick one user, so I will pick admin. I will enter the password, credentials for this user. I will wait until login. I logged in already, and I will pick terminal, and here I will switch user minus I or sudo dash root, or then the same. So here I am root user. So we need to check if we are able to have a disk ID. So I will use lib UDEV SCSI dash GUD, and then the device will be SDB. As we can see here, we have disk ID. So we successfully able to have a disk ID. So now I will create partitions from the SDB disk. So I set this one equal $h disk, and as we can see here, we have the disk or this device set to this variable. So I will clear the screen. I will use also lsplk to make sure that we have this available also. As you can see here, it's available. So I will also clear the screen. Immediately I will use one line to create the partitions from the SDB device. So as you can see here, we are successfully create the disk three partitions from the disk or from this device. So after we create them, we need to create a UDEV rule. So using the UDEV rule, we need to create this rule inside /etc/udev/rules.d, and then we will name it like this. So I have one thing, we need to first check /lib/udev sdb SCSI /gud, the device will be SDB. So here we need to take, for you need to take this ID and replace it here on the results equal, and you will replace it here. I already done this. So as you can see here, this one identical to this one, and you need also to change the partition number to fit your partition numeric. So for me, I am use the first one to be as the OSR. The second one will be the data, the data, and the third one will be FRA, ASM disk. I create a symlink just to understand which disk map to which disk group in the ASM. This will be easy for me to distinguish between all of them. So let's first create this file. So vim, I will hit I for enabling the insertion mode, and I will Ctrl+C, Ctrl+Shift+V to paste the result, and like this, done. So after finish this one, I need to check the file system for these disks. It's look nice, everything is good here. So we need to create update the block device partition table for all of them, and here also I will do like a test for all of them here just to see this is good. The second one, the third one, and I think everything is fine. So we can right now add these devices to trigger them to be, now I can ls-l dev sdb, and like this we can see here that these disks are, the permission for them are changed, and ls-l t dev Oracle ASM, as we can see here, the symlink created and mapped to the partition for each partition. So I think the UDEV rule is successfully created. So now we can proceed to the next step, a grid infrastructure installation. Now we come to grid infrastructure installation with the ASM. So first I need to switch to the grid user, and I will clear. I will change the directory to go to the Oracle home. Okay, bwd confirm. Yes, I'm in the correct path. So I will use wget http. I will download the. Sorry, my numlock is not one, and it will be this one. I will download it here. So now I have this file, so I will unzip it. Unzip. Okay. Linux, and it will take a little bit time. Okay, the extraction is finished, so we can clear the screen. Now I will do ls just to see. Yes, it's extracted here. So I need to export display equal 0.0 x host plus to give permission to use the X server. So I also will export cv assume underscore this id equal OEL 7.6. Now I can run a grid setup. As we can see here, the window is loaded. So we will use this one, Oracle restart. I'll proceed with next. As you can see here, we will use external disk. I will pick the first one, but I will change the path to be like this: Oracle ASM /star. Star. Hit enter. Be able to see which disk I need. I will pick this one and I will name it CRS. Okay. Everything is fine. I can proceed with next. I will pick the password. You can put a password that's for all the accounts. So let's go for the next. Register with EPM, no need. Here we can check the group, operating system groups. Everything is fine. Here also this is important. Also the location of the software home is correct. Okay, the Oracle inventory, it will also be good. Automatic run script, no, I will run it by myself. Here, this is normal. It's a warning, so we can ignore this warning. In case if there is error or fail, you need to fix it, or you can press fix and check again. But here is a warning, physical RAM and this package also may be done to install from them, but it's not a big issue. So we can proceed next, and yes, I want to continue. So here is the summary. You can check the summary before you proceed for the installation. So everything is fine. The disk selected will be okay. This is the disk that we will install the CRS or CR OCR on top of it. So I proceed with next, install. So it's prompt for us to run scripts as a root. So I will proceed here. Here, new window. and I will like this. I will switch user to root. I will take the first script, Ctrl C, Ctrl Shift V, and I will hit enter. Successfully finished. I will take the second one, Ctrl C, and I will clear, Shift V, and I will hit enter also. Yes. Here it will start. So as we can see here, successfully accumulate necessary OCR keys. Here also node Oracle19c successfully bind, adding clusterable entry to the Oracle OHASD service. So the script is finished. So as we can see here is successfully configured, and we can right now proceed to press OK to continue our installation. As we can see here, the installation is finished, so we can proceed to close this window. So I will clear the screen, and as we can see here, we successfully installed grid infrastructure. So I will use CRSCTL stat res -t to check if the resources is installed successfully. As we can see here, we have everything is fine. Okay, we have here the disk group. So we done the grid infrastructure installation, so we will proceed for the next step. We will create ASM disk group for Oracle database, the data and FRA disk group, ASMCA, ASM configuration assistance. It will prompt me for, yeah, in this one, ASM configuration assistance window. From here, as you can see here, I have CRS disk group, so I will create a new disk group, create, I will use external, I will pick data, and here it will be data, and hit OK. The disk group will be created soon. Okay, done. Now we need to create the FRA, and the redundancy will be external. And here, as we can see, I will press OK. Here we have the FRA and data disk groups. Both of them are mounted and ready. So I will exit from here, and yes. So I will run the command again, CRS, to see we have here the disk group is online and available for Oracle database, and the FRA also the same. So we create a disk groups for database installation successfully. Now we can proceed for the next step, Oracle database installation. So here we need to install Oracle database. So I will proceed, I will change the directory to $Oracle home bwd, and I am in the correct path. So I will use wget http. I will download this one from my host. Download is finished, so we need to unzip the -q. I'll make it quiet. For the Linux database, I will unzip it here. So the extraction is finished. You need to make sure that you are extracted in the Oracle home. Okay, so I will clear the screen and I will do ls. As we can see here, we have the run installer. So we will first we need to export display equal 0.0 and then xhost plus. This will allow us to use the X server. I will clear the screen. Also, I will export cv underscore assume disk id equal OEL 7.6, and now we are done. We can right now run the installer, hit enter. Okay, so now for me, I will install the or set up software only. We will not create database. We will create database using database configuration assistance, but here I will proceed with this one, software only. Okay, of course, it's a single instance. It's not a real application cluster. I will use Enterprise Edition. Okay. Here you need to confirm that this is the correct Oracle base, and here also the correct Oracle home. Okay. Next, check also for the operating system disk groups. Operating system groups. Okay, for me, I will skip this one. Okay, the prerequisites, everything is fine, so we can proceed for the installation. It's prompt for me to run this script as root. So I will run it here. I will clear the screen. I will run it like this. Yes, we done. So clear it and I will proceed. Okay. We successfully finished the Oracle19c software only setup. So we finished the software only, Oracle19c software only installation. So the next step, we will proceed to the database configuration assistance to create a database, DBCA. I will go for advanced. Here, I will pick single instance database, general purpose. It's a transaction processing. Yes, we have also data warehouse. Here I pick general purpose or transaction processing. I think data warehouse is analytical processing, so I will proceed with this one. Next, here I will pick I will name it prod or prod like this, and here I will name it prod db1. Okay, so next, use template for database. No, I will use automatic I will enable also the Oracle managed file. So everything will be managed by Oracle, especially the naming. Next. Yes, I will enable the FRA. I will also enable I will pick the automatic storage management, ASM. It will be in the FRA. Of course, I don't have 12G, so 12 gigabyte. I know it's recommended, but I will use 9 GB. Okay. Enable archiving, I will enable it from SQL Plus once we finish if it's needed. But for now, I don't want to use it. Next. Just here the listener. Yeah, it will create the new one. Database vault, I will not use it. Here, everything is fine here. No need to change anything, but you can change upon your need if you need to change it. I don't want to configure the enterprise manager. I will keep it without. I will pick for all of them the same password. Okay. Okay, so we can proceed next. Of course, we want to create the database. Then next. Okay, it's okay for me. For that message for FRA, I will keep it 9. It's okay. The summary here, all the things that we created and we picked will be summarized here. So we can proceed with finish. Then the database will be created. As we can see here, the database creation is finished. So I will close this window. So now we can go to the SQL Plus, then sysdba, select name, open underscore modes from the database. So as we can see here, we have prod and the mode is read write. I will clear, I will exit. I will exit also from Oracle and I will switch user to grid, and I need to make sure that the disk group is written ASM CMD. So I will list cd data ls cd prod ls. As we can see here, the ASM is created successfully, and the prod also, the prod database, the data files also created and written to the ASM successfully. Let's check also the FRA, BWD, ls cd prod ls. As we can see here also, the control file and online log files also written to the FRA as a redundant. So I will exit from here, clear. So let's check also if the both instance is ps minus ef grid daemon. So we have two instances, the ASM instance and the prod instance, and the ASM is instance is belong to the grid user and the prod database belong to the Oracle. So here we finish the ASM Oracle Grid infrastructure, including ASM with database installation. So I hope you enjoy with this video and see you next video. Thank you.